This evening, first, a 20-year-old delay in justice. Why Ghana's legal professionals are demanding immediate confirmation of the Chancellor and Chief Justice. Plus, caught in the act, a young prison officer is jailed after attempting to smuggle marijuana into Mazaruni prison. How this case is sparking a crackdown on contraband. Also, a family's heartbreak. A missing man found dead in a hotel under mysterious circumstances. The community demands answers, what investigators are uncovering. And in business, Ghana's oil boom accelerates with a record-breaking 225 oil lifts in 2024. How this milestone is reshaping the nation's economy. Finally, halfway across the world, South Korea's political crisis deepens as President Yoon Suk-yeol is arrested after a tense standoff. Stay tuned for these stories and more coming up on Headline News Update. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for January 15, 2025. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, on Tuesday, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat revealed that Ghana recorded 225 crude oil lifts from the Stabroek Block in 2024, a substantial increase from 142 lifts in 2023. Each lift equals 1 million barrels of oil. Out of the total lifts, 28 were allocated to the government of Guyana, sourced from the Liza Unity, Liza Destiny, and Prosperity floating production, storage, and offloading vessels. The increase in production was attributed to the third oil project coming into operation and the optimization of the FPSOs throughout 2024. Minister Bharat noted that the number of lifts is expected to rise in 2025 with the upcoming launch of the One Guyana FPSO. The government is currently verifying the revenue from these lifts, which fluctuates based on market prices. For the first time, Ghana is receiving a premium of over $1 per barrel for crude marketed from the Liza Destiny FPSO, a shift from 2020 when the country had to pay Shell to market its oil. This premium pricing has significantly boosted the country's oil revenue, enhancing Ghana's position in the global oil market. Minister Bharat noted that few small producers have managed to secure such premiums. In other news, a young prison officer has found himself on the other side of the law after being caught attempting to smuggle marijuana into the Mazaruni prison. Malcolm Carter brings us the full story.
A young prison officer who was caught on Tuesday smuggling marijuana inside the Mazaruni prison was criminally charged and shipped off to prison when he appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court earlier today, January 15, 2024. 21-year-old Joel Johnson of Cranbrook, East Coast, Demerara, has been sentenced to 3 years in prison after pleading guilty to possession of over 800 grams of cannabis with the intent to traffic. Johnson was also fined $30,000. The incident occurred on January 14th when Johnson, returning from a 4-day leave, was subjected to a mandatory search at the Mazaruni prison checkpoint. During the search, officers discovered cannabis concealed in 8 Irish Spring soap boxes and 2 Colgate toothpaste boxes within his haversack. The marijuana was wrapped in small plastics and hidden inside the soap boxes. Following the discovery, Johnson was arrested and the narcotics were weighed, confirming a total of 804 grams. The matter was reported to the police and Johnson was handed over along with the narcotics for further processing. Meanwhile, Director of Prison commended the vigilance and dedication of the prison staff involved in foiling the smuggling attempt. He emphasized that both members of the public and prison officers found engaging in contraband smuggling will face the brunt force of the law. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. 2 members of the SWAT unit, Police Lance Corporals Kevin Thompson and Dwayne Perry, were arrested on Tuesday night after being found with over 700 grams of suspected cannabis in their vehicle. The arrest occurred around 11:15 p.m. on Camp and Newmarket Streets in Georgetown after an inspector from the Special Branch acting on information stopped the car driven by Thompson with Perry as the passenger. Upon searching the vehicle, officers discovered a black bag containing leaf seeds and stems believed to be cannabis, along with plastic wraps, a scale, and a bag sealer. The 2 officers were immediately arrested and taken to the narcotics branch where the substance was weighed. The motor car, an Axio with registration plate PAG 2421, was found to be owned by Diane Prasad of Lazytown. Further investigations reveal that Stacey Hodge, Thompson's wife, had rented the car after her vehicle was involved in an accident. Both suspects are placed under close arrest, and searches at their homes yield no additional evidence. The investigation is ongoing. Stick around when we return. Family demands answers after a young man found dead in hotel. And East Coast Emerald residents apprehended 2 armed suspects after high-speed chase.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 2, 2025 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Wednesday, January 15, 2025 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GCOM on 2250-278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Smuggling with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Current smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors, OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate.
If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024,
and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. If you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE, you are required to apply for registration if your name is not in the PLE, apply for a transfer if you have changed your address since you were registered, apply for a name change if you have changed your name, or apply for a correction if your registration particulars are incorrect. Any person whose information on the PLE is incorrect can apply for such information to be changed or corrected. Any person applying for a change or correction to his or her particulars must provide the relevant original source document document, birth certificate and a deed poll for a name change by deed poll, marriage certificate and ID card for a name change by marriage, divorce absolute in the case of a woman who is desirous of reverting to her maiden name from her married name, birth certificate, adoption certificate, naturalization certificate for a correction of minor clerical errors.
Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions.
The claims aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, 15th January 2025. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-027829 or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. The president of the Ghana Bar Association, Kamal Ramkaran, has strongly called for the confirmation of Justice Janet Cummings as Chancellor and Justice Roxanne George as Chief Justice, positions they have been acting in since 2017. Speaking at the opening of the 2025 law year on Wednesday, Ramkaran criticized the 20-year delay in appointing a Chancellor and the nearly decade-long delay in confirming a Chief Justice. He emphasized that Ghana's constitution clearly outlines the appointment process, requiring agreement between the president and the opposition leader. Ramkaran argued that this situation is unacceptable and should not be tolerated by the judiciary, legal professionals, or the public. Justice Cummings and Justice George have been effectively performing their duties, and Ramkaran reiterated the Bar Association's long-standing support for their confirmation. He urged for immediate action, noted that delays undermine the legal system. President Ali has said he is considering the matter, while opposition leader Aubrey Norton confirmed his support for the appointments, placing responsibility on the president to finalize the process. In other news, 2 armed suspects were caught by residents on the east coast of the Demerara after a dramatic chase during the early hours of this morning. The police recovered a 12-gauge shotgun and a pistol from the scene, while 2 other accomplices managed to flee on motorcycles. The incident began when a Lusignan contractor noticed suspicious activity near his Annandale workshop. Later, he observed 4 men on motorcycles, appearing armed, circling the village. Alarmed, the contractor alerted neighbors who joined in pursuing the suspects. During the chase, one suspect fired a shotgun at the contractor's vehicle, damaging a tire. Undeterred, the group pursued the suspects, leading to 2 pillion riders falling from their motorcycles. The 2 suspects were apprehended, with one found injured and in possession of a shotgun. Police and emergency responders arrived shortly after. The injured suspect with a shotgun wound was hospitalized under police guard in serious condition. The other suspect, identified as Sean Jones, a 30-year-old vendor from Turkine, was taken into custody. Investigators collected 8 spent shells and secured the recovered firearm for analysis. Shotgun residue tests were conducted and statements were obtained. A search for the 2 accomplices is ongoing as investigations continue. The family of a young man is demanding answers after his body was discovered in mysterious circumstances at a hotel on East Bank, Essequibo. More from Malcolm Carter.
The family of 22-year-old Imran Haak is calling for a thorough investigation after his body was discovered at a hotel in Perica, East Bank, Essequibo, 2 days after he was reported missing. Haak of Lee Reservoir, East Coast Demerara, was last seen on Sunday when he left home, reportedly to visit Perica. Relatives say they became alarmed when Haak failed to return home and attempts to reach him by phone were unsuccessful. On Monday, the family filed a missing persons report and shared their concerns on social media, pleading for help to locate him. Their worst fears were realized when police informed them on Tuesday that Haak had been found dead at the hotel under unclear circumstances. Distraught relatives are now pushing for answers, raising concerns about foul play. They have called for a thorough and impartial investigation, emphasizing the need to uncover the truth about how Haak died. The discovery has sparked widespread speculation, with many in the community questioning the mysterious circumstances surrounding Haak's death. An autopsy is expected to provide clarity while investigators continue to probe the matter. Haak's family, described as deeply shaken, remembers him as a vibrant young man and insists that justice must be served. Investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. Don't go away after the break. South Korea president arrests Police says Yoon is refusing to answer questions, and the U.S. to remove Cuba from state sponsors of terrorist lists.
GCOM is currently conducting a claims and objections exercise to produce an official list of electors OLE. If you were 18 years or over on December 31, 2024,
and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors PLE in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change or correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. Opening hours. All GCOM registration offices will be open Mondays to Fridays from 8 hours to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 hours to 14 hours. For further information, contact GCOM at 225-0278-9, 226-6557, 8 and 9, 223-9650, or visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Smuggling with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's the best for your eyes. Our smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
GCOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 2, 2025 to produce an official list of electors OLE. If you will be 18 years or over by December 31, 2024, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed and, if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone who you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Malcolm Carter and welcome to our regional and international news segment, keeping you informed and up to date with the trending news stories from around the world. In the Caribbean, in a significant policy shift, President Joe Biden announced Cuba's removal from the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism as one of his final acts in office. The move, brokered by the Catholic Church, prompted Cuba to agree to release 553 prisoners gradually. While Biden seeks to normalize U.S.-Cuba relations, uncertainty looms with President-elect Donald Trump signaling a possible reversal. The decision could improve Cuba's economy and open avenues for dialogue. Meanwhile, wildfires in Los Angeles have left thousands homeless, intensifying emotional trauma and housing challenges. The rental market, already tight, now faces surging demand and rising prices, compounding difficulties for displaced residents. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
It's gone. What do you do next? How do you cope with the emotional trauma? Can you contemplate rebuilding? That's what Sarah Trepanier, an emergency room physician and mother of 4, is going through right now.
I can't even deal with the grief of my community lost and my friends dispersed and my house gone. I have to just get some stability for our children and I. And so in my mind, it's house first, talk to the insurance and FEMA, and see where we are.
Even before the disaster, the rental housing market in Los Angeles was extremely tight.
Finding housing has been difficult because so many people are displaced from houses, like 30,000 people have lost and are looking, so the need is so great.
Many fire victims find it's too early to fully grapple with their emotional states.
No, I can't. So, I'm an ER doctor, did pediatric traumas, and I'm a Navy veteran. My coping skill is compartmentalizing, and so I have to wall away these things that are too much to bear because it'll stop my progress.
It wasn't simply structures and material objects that were destroyed. It was lifetimes worth of experiences. On top of all her trauma, Sarah Trepanier has another concern, that the memory of this place where she lived should not be erased.
This community was our happy place because it was such a warm, embracing group of people, diverse people from all over everywhere, coming together and working together and being kind of nice. And seeing the town destroyed means that it may never come back.
One of the many coping with a bleak new reality and all that the fires took away. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Pacific Palisades, California.
In South Africa, rescue teams recovered at least 36 bodies from an illegal mine as efforts stretched into the second day. Over 80 miners who had spent months underground were brought to the surface and immediately arrested.
One by one, bodies are pulled out of this abandoned mine shaft in Stilfontein. The South African government has begun rescuing miners, some of them dead. Others are alive, but hungry and dehydrated. A professional mine rescue company sent a cage down the shaft to rescue them.
I just wish they can be quicker so that they can save more lives, because what you're looking forward to is like rescuing more lives than like hearing that dead bodies have came out. Like, let them speed up the process. It's long overdue.
Officials here say those rescued will all face illegal mining and immigration charges. Community leaders accuse the police of blocking food and water to the miners in order to force them out.
We can't, at this stage, speculate on whatever have been the cause of death. Remember, apart from the cause of death, it is the timing of death. When did who died?
Dozens more people are believed to be underground. Government ministers say they have no way of knowing how many people are still underground. They say they only give an official number once the rescue operation is complete. Now, that has been going on all day. The people in white have been bringing up bodies, putting them in body bags, and taking them away. Some of the people trapped are South Africans, but many are undocumented foreigners from neighboring countries. Some of the informal miners had been sending letters scribbled on pieces of paper saying that they were dying like flies in unbearable conditions. The longer it takes to rescue everyone, the higher that death toll could be. Harun Matasa, Al Jazeera, Stilfontein, South Africa.
Finally, South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol has been arrested after a tense standoff in the latest chapter of the political crisis that engulfed the country. Al Jazeera's Patrick Folk reports.
The operation to arrest President Yoon Suk Yeol got underway in the early hours of Wednesday morning in South Korea. This was the second attempt by investigators to bring him in after they tried to arrest him a week ago. Many people are angry Yoon's avoided facing responsibility for his failed martial law order.
I think it's wrong for the leader of a rebellion to not face any legal consequences, and even though an arrest warrant has been issued, continue to resist that.
Supporters of the president have been camped outside Yoon's official residence for days, despite the icy conditions.
If the president were to be arrested, all of us here, the people of this country, will be prepared to stop the arrest at all costs.
As dawn broke, police managed to breach the walls of the presidential compound. Reports say there were tense negotiations with the president's legal team and security service who've been protecting Yoon from arrest. Later, a motorcade carrying the president was seen departing.
Police estimate as many as 6,500 supporters of President Yoon turned out overnight, urging their leader to keep fighting on. Shortly after he was arrested, the crowds quickly dispersed.
In a video statement, Yoon described the execution of the arrest warrant against him as deplorable.
I decided to respond to the investigation, despite it being an illegal investigation, to prevent bloodshed. However, that doesn't mean I'm acknowledging the investigation.
South Korea's Corruption Investigation Office now has 48 hours to question Yoon. It then needs to decide whether to request a warrant to detain him. Patrick Falk, Al Jazeera, Seoul.
And that wraps up our regional and international news segment for tonight. Thank you for joining us as we bring you the latest updates from around the globe. I'm Malcolm Carter. Good night and see you next time. Back to you, Bibi.
Thanks, Malcolm. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.